Hey, Lukey,
Yeah.
don't get me in trouble.
Well, you heard Gemini's voice. We have Luke Cage and myself all on a three-way call. We're here to put Miguel and Steve out of business, out of commission. They
Damn
have
right.
their little podcast, and we're not good enough to be on theirs. It's only a two-man show over there. So
This is where the big boys play.
yeah, what's the adjective? Play.
Long live WCW, Daddy.
There you go. So, Jem, you want to talk about Paul Bearer? I guess that's a big news going on.
Oh, yeah. Well, I mean, I met him in 1996. I know he had weight problems even back then. And so from what I heard, it was like a blood clot, and he had to go to the hospital on Saturday. That's really sad because Paul Bearer was one of those guys who respected wrestling, and he respected the business, and he was a good one, and you can see from all the tweets going out from all the wrestlers that he was well respected in the locker room. You can't say that for all individuals, but Paul Bearer was well respected, and he will be missed by fans everywhere.
Yeah, I was seeing that. Like, everyone was tweeting, like, how much of a good guy he was. Like, there's been wrestlers who died in the past as well, and then they were trending on Twitter and all, but, like, the amount of, like, outpour that came out for him, I was surprised by.
No, absolutely. He was, I mean, think about this. I mean, Paul Bearer was one of the guys who was instrumental in The Undertaker becoming the megastar, the huge star that he was back in the early 90s. He protected The Undertaker. He kept him away from the dangers of wrestling. He didn't let The Undertaker fail. He helped get him over. He won him a world title. November the 27th, 1990, defeated the Hulk Hogan in the Survivor Series. Matt Damn sucked my dick.
Anything to say, Luke?
Well, it definitely came as a shock, and he was highly active on social media, and I would always see Jeff Jarrett and Road Dogg and guys like that always tweet him, so I saw him on my timeline quite often, and just to see him, disappear all of a sudden, it was sad, and I've seen it a couple times in person. I had the opportunity but I didn't take advantage of meeting him a few times, which I regret, but definitely a huge loss, and I didn't really know he was that well loved and respected. I mean, I knew he was loved and respected, but not that much. So it was definitely really sad.
Yeah, he blocked me on Twitter, actually, because I told the story on Skype, but you know MB Wrestler, Mikey O'Shea? He did a promo with him together, and I was like, that's so awesome. So I tweeted at him. I said, you and MB Wrestler, that's amazing. And he said, what's an MB Wrestler? And I ignored him, so I didn't say anything. Every day he would tweet me and say, what's an MB Wrestler? And then I guess he just had enough, and he said, I'm going to ask you one last time, what's MB Wrestler?
Oh my God.
And I'm like, Mikey O'Shea, he has a YouTube channel, and his name's MB Wrestler. And he just said, okay, and then I went to tweet back, and the next thing I know, I was blocked. So
he got what he wanted, and he blocked you.
yeah, so that was my last experience with him. But
That's
it was,
not good.
for me, it was like, he was pretty much one of the first managers. Like, he was a scary guy, like when you're like 8 or 9 years old and you see that face, and that's what stuck out to me the most, was just how scary he looked, the paleness. Even Jade was like asking me like, oh, is he really that pale? I'm like, no. I'm like, that's the whole thing. He's supposed to be like the graveyard guy, and he played it so well also. And he was definitely my favorite manager of all time. It's like, when you think of amazing managers, to me, you think of Miss Elizabeth, Bobby Heenan, and Paul Bearer as 3 of the top guys and girl.
For the younger fans, if you're interested in seeing a little bit of work on Paul Bearer, the WWE put out a DVD, I don't know, like 7 or 8 years ago on, it was the world's most amazing managers, and Paul Bearer was featured on that. You're looking to look a little bit in his career if you haven't seen much. He hasn't been active, really. I mean, he's come and gone. I mean, Randy Orton put him in the freezer.
that was Edge. I don't think that was Randy Orton.
Oh, shit, I screwed that one up. Okay. I knew somebody put him in the freezer.
Yeah, it was Edge or Kane. Someone put him in. I remember that.
Kane did that.
Yeah, Kane did that, yeah.
And Edge just threw a dodgeball at his face and threw some hot wings at him, I think it was.
I don't even remember that.
I love hot wings, man. That's on right now.
He just like sucking the bone.
Yeah, well, a lot of people said he was fat. Like they thought he had like a heart attack. But last time pictures I checked, like he's lost a lot of weight. And I think when people think of him, they always think of like 2005 or 4, whenever he came back, and they just think that being how he is now. But it seemed like he lost a lot of weight compared to back then, even in the mid '90s.
The surgery, whatever the surgery is, the gastro surgery.
I think it was liposuction or something.
Oh, was it?
I'm not sure, but yeah, they definitely he got surgery to lose a bunch of weight, and I heard it was a blood clot or it was heart problems he was having.
Yeah, I think it was blood clot because I saw JR's blog and he said that it was a blood clot that he got notified over the weekend of, and I was like, I guess Saturday or Sunday he got notified, and by Tuesday he's gone. That's pretty nuts.
It's really sad, though. I mean, so what else is going on? Are you guys pumped about the Undertaker being back?
No, actually. I don't think he needs to waste his health nor his time on WrestleMania 29. In my opinion, he should get back into shape, because I know he recently got major shoulder and hip surgery, so he's not really that great shape. I honestly think he's wasting his time with Punk. He should just wait until 30 and face John Cena and just call it a career, if you ask me.
Yeah, I just need a minute here. I just need to rant on something. Okay. Now, you guys know I'm a big John Cena fan, but I have to tell you guys, very, very disappointed this year that CM Punk will not be wrestling the last match at WrestleMania. To me, it's an absolute disgrace to not have Punk in the last match. I know it's an honor to work with The Undertaker at WrestleMania. That's fine. But CM Punk has carried that company on his back for almost 2 years now. He's the #1 guy in wrestling, and they gave that spot to Cena. And I just have a problem with Cena potentially walking out of New York with the belt. It just doesn't work for me, and CM Punk should be in that spot. It's just not right. What do you guys think about that?
Totally agree.
But I think when you think of WrestleMania, it's about mainstream, viewership. Like I know one of the guys who always attend the shows, he was at a bar talking to a bunch of people, and they had no idea who CM Punk was. And you have literally the whole world watching you, and let's say maybe half or maybe a quarter of those people, the ones who actually watch, know of CM Punk. You see CM Punk going to these news places, and the first thing they say to him is, "Oh, I would think you look a lot bigger," or "Oh, I've never seen you before." Half of them don't even know how to say his name, you know what I mean? But when you look at The Rock, when you look at John Cena, these guys are, notable figures, and more people who aren't watching every week are going to tune in to see those two rather than...
I know, but here's the thing. CM Punk is the best wrestler on the planet Earth. He's the hottest commodity in professional wrestling. He's carried that company on his back for 2 years. He's the most interesting character they have. To not have him in the last match after everything he's done, Punk has to feel a slap in the face.
I'm sure he does, because even he does this whole thing with Cabana all the time, and Punk knows his role in the company, and he's gone on record saying that he's not going to ever be the top guy, but he knows that he made a statement, and he knows his role. I guess is pretty much the best way to put it.
Well, it's kind of interesting, though, because Punk has gone on record at these Q&A conventions that he's done over the past year or so that the only goal he had left was to main event WrestleMania, and then that's all he had left. So maybe it's WWE's way of keeping him away from accomplishing that goal, so he'll stick around longer. Because, that's the only thing he has left, and they just took it away from him. So.
But who you think he would actually main event? I can only see him main eventing with Steve Austin. I don't think that's going to happen until... Because if it happens next year, I heard that Rock and Brock are rumored, and then maybe a Cena Undertaker, and Austin said also that he's not going to come back for none less than a main event spot at WrestleMania. So you can say 31.
This might be Punk's last chance.
Yeah,
but I think it's a real story on Punk. CM Punk 3 or 4 years ago, we would sit here on these Skype calls, and I would be like, "Who cares? Who cares?" But now when he's on TV. You hang on every word the guy says. He can't miss.
Exactly, yeah, because that's the thing. If it wasn't for that pipe bomb promo, you think Punk would... I'm sure Punk would still be employed, but he would definitely be in that Wade Barrett spot, mid-card title kind of, filling in until, Triple H or John Cena come out.
Most likely, yeah.
But, Luke,
speaking of Triple H, the Triple H Lesnar thing...
Hold on.
I thought it was going to be a lot harder.
I just want to ask Luke one thing. When you said Undertaker, he should take this year off, but when you look at it, what do you think a year is really going to do? He's going to be 1 year older. His bones are going to be 1 year, he's going to be breaking apart. Either way, it's a year he's wasting when,
I think it's a double-edged sword. Yeah, he gains a year, but in my opinion, it gives him more time to heal up because, like I said, apparently he's in really bad shape, his hip and his left shoulder. So I think that year would be really beneficial, and he could put on an even better match at 30. And he doesn't need to wrestle at 29. What, you got 4 weeks build up for him and Punk? It's like, is it really worth it?
Yeah, I guess you're right there. But I think WrestleMania isn't the same without him. I think he knows that, and the company knows that too. So they probably pay him a whole lot of money just to show
I agree.
up.
And he's missed 2 Manias. It's not like he's never missed one.
Yeah, that's true. Yeah.
Hold on a second. Now, he missed one Mania because of his kid, and the other because he was hurt.
He has a kid? I didn't even know that.
That's why he missed that WrestleMania 10. It's because his kid was getting born, and he missed WrestleMania 2000 because he was hurt really bad. Remember when he came out, he changed his gimmick?
Yeah.
But the thing about The Undertaker, they're not going to do a WrestleMania in New York without the biggest star in the history of WrestleMania, The Undertaker. Plus, Vince is paying that dude so much money to be there.
Yeah, I bet.
So what were you saying about Triple H and Brock? You thought the feud would be hotter?
I did. I mean, it started off weird. I mean, there's some things that are weird about it. For one, I'm having a problem with Triple H's haircut.
Okay.
And I'm having a problem with the fucking stain between his pants.
It was the water when he pours it on his head. It went to the crevices of his pants.
Actually, Ravi, Triple H just actually admitted that he pissed his pants.
Oh, he did?
Yeah.
Oh, shit. No way.
It was a backstage fallout video on YouTube. He actually admitted that he pissed his pants.
Wow. Well, there I'm wrong. That's embarrassing.
Yeah.
If Brock Lesnar was chasing after me, I'd piss my panties too.
I think that what killed the feud was their first match. I think it was so slow and just no emotion to it, or no excitement, that the only way to save this one is to have a no DQ match. And every WrestleMania usually has some kind of match where 2 guys beat the hell out of each other. Right. And I can see Triple H and Lesnar being maybe a street fight.
I'm so pissed off about Triple H, though, because he's just coming back now for the WrestleMania match and the big matches, and it's hard to get into him because, you take it he's a corporate suit, and you're like, okay, he's just selling tickets, but he really don't give a shit about anything but selling tickets, and you're like, this isn't the same Triple H.
I think he just wants his win because Lesnar has that win over him. He just wants to tie it up, I think. That's the only reason why he's doing it,
I think he's past that stage in his life where wins and losses matter. I think since he's in charge of the company, what else does he have to prove? I don't think wins and losses really at this point mean much to him. That's just my opinion, but you might be right.
And
show him up his bags again if he wants.
Going back to SummerSlam, though, I think that match gets a bad rap because a lot of people were expecting something else. A lot of people were saying, this is going to be a fight. This is going to be an all-out fight. And when they started introducing a little wrestling into it, people were flipping out. I'm like, well, you got to understand, Brock is a wrestler and Triple H is a wrestler. So, I mean,
yeah.
I think people expected the wrong thing, but that match gets a bad rap. I thought it was pretty good.
You should have a bad rap because they dubbed it as the perfect storm. It was actually the perfect shit.
I liked it. I don't know what everyone's problem is.
It was just too slow. It reminded me a lot of Randy Orton and Triple H, where there was so much build towards it, but I think people expected a lot more than what they got.
I agree with that.
They took it easy on each other. They played it safe.
Yeah, I'd say that. Sure. But I thought it was entertaining still, regardless.
Lesnar and Cena was something I didn't expect at all when those two went into it. I would never in a million years expected they would go hard as they did at Extreme Rules.
That was a great match. I mean, that was the match of the year to me. Well, I mean, I don't know. CM Punk had some great matches last year, though, too.
I think they should have built Lesnar and Cena for SummerSlam and have that 2 or 3 month build. I think that would have been amazing. And then have Triple H and Lesnar for the first time at WrestleMania with another 2 or 3 month build. And you can even do the same thing where Lesnar attacks Triple H and then he goes after Shane or Stephanie or something. But kind of do what Randy Orton did, but I would say Lesnar's more of a believable bad guy than Randy Orton was at the time when he was messing with Triple H.
Oh, without question.
So what else do you got there, Gabby?
How about Randy Orton?
What do you mean?
There's your thoughts. No, but I was just watching Randy Orton on Main Event, and I was just thinking to myself, man, this guy should be in a way higher position than he's currently in. It's kind of sad that he's sort of just treading along, not doing anything real eventful.
Well, the guy has 2 strikes. So, I was listening to a podcast with Jericho as the host, and Conan, it was his podcast. He asked Jericho that question that, why is Randy Orton so low on the totem pole for being, the superstar that he is? And, I guess when he got suspended, you got to earn your spot back. And plus the guy has 2 strikes, so he's kind of, red flags, I guess, is on him. If he screws up, he's done. I guess you don't want to put the pressure on him. I'm sure he'll get it.
There's a problem with Randy Orton. When you give him the title, when you give Cena the title, they've had the title like 20 times between them. Mm-hmm. They do the same moves every match. They do the same thing every match. They're boring as champions, and nobody wants to see. Randy Orton is so boring in the ring that nobody wants to see it anymore. When he first started in 2007 and he was kicking everyone in the head, I mean, he was on fire, but there's nothing left for Randy Orton to do. He might as well jump ship and go to TNA. Maybe he can revive his career. Maybe he can go fuck Brooke or something. I don't know.
It's funny you say that, because a lot of people, like William Regal said, for instance, that Randy Orton, he feels, is the best wrestler that is on the roster right now because he knows how to work their style so well, and he just blends into what they're expecting. Because I know a lot of old guys who, the Arn Andersons, or I know William Regal said it for sure on Cole Cabana's podcast, but they praise Randy Orton and what he does in the ring. They think that there's no one better than him currently on the roster, just because, I guess they say no wasted movement is what they always say. Everything he does has a purpose. But I guess he's mastered the WWE style, and like you, Jem, you think that it's boring.
I'm going to disregard what you just typed, Lou. But, Randy Orton, he is just, that his moveset is just brutal to watch. DDT on the ropes, he does a little backbreaker move. Now people are kicking out of the RKO. He's losing to everyone. He has no momentum. He's not the Viper anymore. He's not an Apex Predator anymore. He's a jobber. It's really sad.
You think him turning into like a heel would change things around, or maybe get him?
You could heat him up. A couple years ago at the Night of Champions, they gave him the world title, and he was okay. You gotta heat him up though. You gotta do something with him. You gotta have him maybe start kicking people in the head again, or just revive his character a little bit. Maybe he comes out, he starts shooting on how he's getting held down. But his promos are lame because he'll come out and he'll cut a huge promo, but then he'll go out there and lose. And you're like, dude, you cut a mean promo, but you just got your ass kicked.
Yeah.
I bet Fandango can beat him right now.
Probably. Well, I guess that for WrestleMania, they're doing Sheamus, Orton, and Big Show versus The Shield from what happened on Raw, I guess.
They're going to lay down for The Shield because The Shield is one of the hottest things in wrestling today.
That's what I was thinking. The end of Rock and Cena, would be, first the Shield wins their match, and I don't know, out of nowhere, I'm just like, what if Cena does, a Stone Cold Steve Austin WrestleMania 17? Because in the promo him and Rock did on Raw, they said that, Cena said that he has to win, like he needs to win, and Austin said the same thing, like he has to beat The Rock at WrestleMania 17, and maybe Cena would somehow get the Shield involved and get him to jump The Rock and kind of, you know what I mean?
Yeah, I highly doubt it, but
I don't know.
I want to lay out a scenario here for you guys, okay? Okay. Adam, Hillary Clinton. Okay. So there's one state in the United States that hates John Cena more than any other state.
Vermont.
They hate
Delaware.
They hate him in Chicago. They hate him in Los Angeles. But there's one state. There's New York. 2006. That show was in New York, ECW. Oh, excuse me.
Yeah, but you got that. Those are in front of 500 marks, bro. Those are you can't compare ECW to WrestleMania.
How do you justify John Cena leaving New York, 75,000 Cena haters? How do you justify him winning the world title over The Rock and have those fans leave and not be pissed? Unless you put the match on the middle of the show. He can't go on last and beat The Rock. Otherwise, you're going to have 75,000 New Yorkers pissed off that Cena just won the title. How do you end it and not piss off the fans?
Well, I don't think there's any way of getting around it. Cena's walking out with the title. It's 100%, in my opinion, they're going that way.
That's what it seems like, yeah.
I think they're just going to do it anyway. I really don't think they give a shit about the New York fans.
I think there's so many people that are coming from all over the world. The crowd's going to be, I would say, 75 pro Rock and 25 Cena. I don't think it's going to be all 100% against him.
WrestleMania 1, Hogan wins. The fans leave happy. New York. WrestleMania 10, Bret the Hitman Hart wins the world title against Yokozuna. Fans leave happy. WrestleMania 20, it was Chris Benoit's time. He leaves. Fans in New York leave happy. WrestleMania 20, John Cena wins the world title and the New York crowd leaves happy. See this? He needs to turn with the Shield, like you said, dude. He needs to turn with them. I know it's just a different crowd. It's New York. it is the foundation of professional wrestling. To have him leave with the title, this is coming from a Cena fan, but you can't. You have to have The Rock pin him. It's the only way to do it.
Sorry.
No, it's going to be 2-0 then. I mean, Cena's got to avenge that loss from last year.
Cena's got to win. I don't think they would have Rock win, to be honest with you. But I was going to say, would it be the first WrestleMania where a heel kind of wins over... I guess the guy getting booed the most wins over the babyface?
It doesn't make sense. They're not going to just have Cena leave with the title unless they put the match on first.
Yeah.
You can't do it. You cannot do it. It worked at WrestleMania 26 when he beat Batista. It wasn't on last. That crowd in Phoenix, Luke, you were there.
Yeah.
They cheered for Batista. WrestleMania 27, they cheered for the goddamn Miz.
But there's nothing else worthy of that main event spot. Like, Brock and Triple H is close. I don't even think Taker and Punk is as nicely built up as Brock and Triple H is. But
and have CM Punk take the belt off him at the next pay-per-view, and we'll get back to wrestling with CM.
I just think Cena's going to walk out in the main event with the title. The Shield scenario, I'd love for it to happen, but that's wishful thinking.
It's because the Make-A-Wish Foundation. That's why they don't want to turn him.
Okay, I've always said this. I guess this could be our next topic. Cena turning heel. For years, fans have wanted it. In my opinion, it would refresh his character and it would make for good television, sure. But what does WWE benefit from Cena turning heel? Absolutely nothing, especially financially and ratings. I don't think they would benefit at all from Cena turning heel.
I think the first Raw he turns heel, everyone would tune in to see what happens next. But after the next 3 or 4 weeks, after it's a constant thing, I think it's just going to go downhill. And to be honest, Cena's a natural babyface. He's a natural good guy. He doesn't have that bad guy look to him. He's clean-shaven, he's built, whatever. He's like the Hulk Hogan. He's not... It won't happen.
Not if he's the godfather of the Shield and he was responsible for that.
But think about it, Jim. It had to take for Hogan to turn heel. It had to take for him to go to another company to do it. So you think, that might be the case with Cena. I don't think he's going anywhere. But
WrestleMania 29, if he leaves with the belt, it's going to suck unless Punk and Taker tear the house down, which I expect them to.
I don't know. I have no idea. It seems weird because I know they can put on a good match, Punk and Taker, but like you said, Undertaker is the shape he's in. You gotta think.
Punk carry him. Punk won't let him fail because CM Punk refuses to have a bad match.
Right, and Punk's gone on record and saying, I don't take it easy on anyone. You got to keep up or you're going to be behind. He said the same thing about The Rock and John Cena. He doesn't slow down for anybody, so and Taker's no exception to that.
Why can't Dolph Ziggler cash in on Cena? Why isn't he allowed to do that?
Maybe that could happen. Send New York home happy or New Jersey happy.
But isn't the SmackDown Money in the Bank for SmackDown only?
Yeah, it is.
Okay, so let's think here. What scenario could Cena not leave with the title at WrestleMania 29?
Unless they reverse the decision and they had Rock win it first and then restart the match. I don't know, have a Rumble thing. Cena's winning, dude.
Yeah,
Cena's walking out champion.
There's no way you can get around it. I think Cena's winning, and whether you... I don't know.
Dude, Rock can't have that title because in April he's going to film Hercules in some foreign country.
Hercules?
He's done. Yeah, he's going to be Hercules in a Hercules movie.
But Hercules is white, yeah, isn't he?
What?
Isn't Hercules white?
No, he always sort of had a tan. I guess they're going to get away with Rock being.
All right.
But he's off to go film that, so he can't be champion much longer anyway.
It doesn't make sense, dude. It's not just another wrestling town, though. I mean, this is like the mecca of wrestling.
I agree with you. There's just no way of getting around it. Plain and simple.
I'm sorry, but that sucks.
I really do think you're overdoing it, though, Jem. I think that when he wins, I think it won't be as bad as you think. People are going to be like, but they're going to go home happy either way.
Sure.
They'll be happy about the WrestleMania experience. They'll be happy about Punk and Taker, but they'll always say that sucked when Cena won the belt.
Well, I was going to say MSG 2008, but I think they liked it when he won the Rumble.
Did you know about Survivor Series 2000 and what was that, 11, when they blew Cena out the building at MSG? You remember that, Lukey?
Oh, yeah. The magic.
When The Rock out-wrestled his ass. And... Okay, Luke. Last year at WrestleMania in Miami, why didn't they have Cena win?
In my opinion, well, I think it was because Rock said he's beaten everybody. He's beat Austin. He's beat Hogan. Cena's the only guy that he came back for. And Rock was on such a roll. He had so much momentum. And it was, I think they figured, well, Cena can always get that loss back. And Cena's not going to get damaged. And he did get severely damaged by that. But, he's going to, redeem himself at 29. And I think they knew that going in. Cena can always get that loss back, so...
Fine, have The Rock turn heel and beat the shit out of him.
I'd love to see Rock heel, but it would really not make any sense.
Yeah, people love him way too much. I was there, the old school Raw. People were going nuts for The Rock. You heard the crowd even watching it on TV again?
Oh, yeah.
Crowd was... have to beat that guy? Fuck.
Seeing The Rock take a 3 count's gonna be weird to see. Anyway, because no one's even pinned The Rock for a 3 count yet, right?
Right.
Since he's been back, so the WrestleMania 29 is gonna be a weird
and I'm
sight.
sure he ran down in the STF and he'll make him tap out.
No, he's not gonna tap out. They're definitely gonna get a pin on him. Having The
Probably,
Rock.
yeah.
I don't think he's gonna tap.
Adjustment, that's gonna go over well.
But Rock will do just fine.
I'm pissed at Mania this year. I'm so glad that I'm not going and I'm going next year because they've hardly built Mania up this year at all.
I agree.
Yeah, I think it's I gotta agree with that too, but I don't know. I think it'll be okay by the end. What do you think of Ryback and Mark Henry?
Well, they certainly hinted the match.
Yeah.
I won't believe it till it's made official, but I would love to see that. Especially that would give Ryback his Mania moment, picking up Henry.
I don't think he can pick. If he can't pick Tensai up, I don't think he's gonna be able to.
Dude, Mark Henry's gonna beat his ass.
Yeah, I think Mark Henry would win that. I don't really think Ryback can pick Henry up.
I think we'll get the modern day Hogan Andre slam with Henry and Ryback.
Ravi's a believer because he was in Buffalo when Mark Henry won the world title. I remember that.
Yeah. I was shocked. He gave Randy Orton the world's strongest slam. My hands were on my head. I'm like, oh my god, did that just happen?
Everybody did because Mark Henry was a great world champion, and somebody's gonna get their ass kicked.
Yeah, I noticed the 2 guys who cried when they won the world title, was Big Show and Mark Henry. Before the Matt Striker, I think it was, did an interview with him. Henry was wiping his eyes, and then I think even when they were doing it, you can see that he was still tearing up a bit. And he was telling Booker T, he's like, "Who are you gonna say about now? Who are you gonna say now? Who are you gonna say now?" He kept saying that to Booker T. So I guess he was saying some
I
stuff.
have to complain about Big Show not being further up in the card about that something too because he's carried SmackDown on his back for the last year.
Yeah, Big Show's been really good. I noticed. He's for his age and his size, he can still go pretty good.
Him and Del Rio had a great feud. Sheamus and Big Show had a great feud. You guys see what they're doing with Sheamus, though? They're cooling him back down, too. They're bringing him back down to earth.
They're doing so many things with him. They're doing the thing with the Shield. They're doing the thing with Wade Barrett.
They're glad to have Sheamus, so, Ken, it's not recording anymore. Are we back on?
Yeah, we're still recording, though. You want to cut it off now, or you want to just keep going? I can edit this. It's not a big deal.
Building with a belt.
What's going on?
I don't know. Your call keeps dropping.
Oh, is it? Is it okay
now? Are we
now?
good?
Yeah, I'm fine.
Okay, we'll talk about that later, Jim.
Okay.
But Sheamus, like I said, I think he's part of the new generation that's really going to carry the WWE into the promised land because, in my opinion, Sheamus is like the perfect WWE superstar. Look-wise, charisma, mic skills, wrestling ability. I mean, him and Daniel Bryan together, that just proved his wrestling ability to everyone.
Yeah, Sheamus and Daniel Bryan.
What?
Did you say Sheamus and Daniel Bryan?
Yeah.
When did are you talking about the 2 out of 3 falls match?
That's right.
Yeah, okay.
That's Sheamus' best match in his entire career, in my opinion.
Well, it was with Daniel Bryan, so
Daniel Bryan gave it to him.
Yeah.
He gave him the best match of his career, and I think Sheamus is just awesome. I have nothing but good things about him.
Yeah,
but
Sheamus is a good guy.
like you said, Jem, they're definitely kind of cooling him down, feuding with the Shield a little bit.
They cooled Daniel Bryan down too, putting him in a lame tag team.
Yeah, I got a bone to pick with your boyfriend Miguel. He he said him and Kane are kind of dull, and
I think they are kind of dull. I think they've run their course, to be quite honest.
I think they're getting there, but there's definitely some fresh material to be had by those two.
Like
what?
I don't know. That's for them to figure out. But
whatever that fucker's name is. What's that doctor's name?
Dr. Shelby, the quack.
Well, yeah. I'm about tired of him.
Yeah, they have no use for him anymore since they graduated from anger management. But I think after Mania, they might branch out into singles careers again. We'll see.
I honestly thought they would turn on each other, or Daniel Bryan would turn on Kane, and then they would have a match like that. But
well, you know what I was hoping for? I was hoping for an Eddie and Ray 21 thing, where it's tag team champion versus tag team champion.
Yeah.
I was really hoping for that, but...
how could Daniel Bryan do anything to Kane, though, and make it look believable?
Well, they had their SummerSlam match, and it worked out fine, I thought.
Yeah. Kane is the master of the 2.5-star match. He can get by just average match all the time. I notice that.
He's so big, he can't really move that much.
Well, he's only how many years younger than Undertaker, and he's still going out every night, or every Monday Night Raw.
Right.
You know what I mean? So he's obviously in good shape. Look at Big Show.
No, I mean, I can remember being at WrestleMania 23, and we watched Kane go in the building 8 hours before the bell time.
Wow.
So,
what'd you say?
When they go to WrestleMania, they're required to be at the building at 10 a.m. So they're at 10, and the show don't even start till like 5, but they have to be there at 10. It's mandatory. And they have to come in suits, too.
Did they have access in WrestleMania 23?
Oh, yeah. They had access way back when I was at WrestleMania 2000 Anaheim.
Wasn't Donald Trump the man to introduce fan access to WWE?
Oh, in Detroit?
Yeah, or no, I think it was WrestleMania 5 or something like that, or 4, where he introduced the fan access for the first time. It was his idea from what I heard.
You know, the first fan access I actually saw was at WrestleMania 10 in 1994. They had a very small festival, and they had Happy Jack the Clown. If you go back and watch the actual Coliseum video, they show a little bit of the original Fan Fest from 1994. That was the first one I remember. But back in the early WrestleManias, 88, 89, they had fan festivals. They had a 5K jog that Mr. Fuji won by cheating. Kinds of stuff like that.
I remember, was it WrestleMania 28 Access? We saw Dean Ambrose versus Seth Rollins. That was going on at Access, and now these two are at WrestleMania 29 in a huge match.
Oh, it's
how
crazy.
far these guys have come in a year.
Oh, it's huge. And not only that, but the last pay-per-view, they showed how good they could wrestle, too.
Well, they were awesome. Even, I think few people knew how good they really were, but I think Dean Ambrose has really impressed me because I always thought he was, average, but seeing him, just on the microphone is awesome.
Incredible.
The guy knows how to talk, yeah.
The Shield's entertaining. Every time the Shield's on, it's like, someone's going to get their ass kicked. They're a good team. They're entertaining.
It's the perfect 3-man combo. You got the talker, you got the high flyer, and you got the power man. So it's.
Oh, Roman Reigns! I mean, that guy would hand Luke his teeth.
Why me?
Beat your ass.
Yeah, they're great, but I always think when they come out on TV, how much longer is this going to last? Because all good things come to an end. Nexus and Evolution, all those factions. WWE they don't like to keep their factions for too long.
Hey Luke, that's it. That's how Cena's going to turn at WrestleMania. He's going to reform the Nexus.
Bring Tarver back.
Oh God, he's never coming back.
Maybe him and Punk are going to do something dirty together, and him and Punk are going to be a tag team, a nasty heel tag team or something.
I think you're wishful thinking on your part.
Paul Heyman's going to be John Cena's manager, and it's just going to be awesome.
Okay.
But come on, I'm trying to think about an exciting WrestleMania. Not Cena winning another title for the 20th time.
Well, I just don't want you to get your hopes up. I really do think Cena's walking out.
I think there's no question about it, he's walking out. That's the only reason I think he's been having that. He won the Rumble. You gotta win the, he's had a perfect year so far in this, and they're not gonna just put a roadblock to it at WrestleMania.
And that promo that Rocket Cena did, I think, in my opinion, that was the best promo they've ever done together.
Yeah,
but you can see in Cena's eyes, and I don't know if it was the acting or what, but like you can tell what he meant, what he was saying, and he was gonna do it.
Once in a lifetime, man.
Oh, get out of here. Well, on that note, want me to cut this off? We're at 35 minutes. I think we're... Anything else you want to talk about?
We can add the other jabronis in here if you want.
I wanted to bring up the New Age Outlaws.
Oh, okay. No. Yeah, we'll talk about Old School Raw. Yeah, I was funny because some people didn't even know who they were, like, in the crowd. Like, there were some people going along with the whole thing Road Dogg does at the beginning, but there were some people just sitting there. And, but it was good to see them back. I think Triple H said it on his Twitter that they were going to be back, so I didn't know who they would face.
Yeah, they take on Road Scholars this Monday.
Oh, do they?
Yeah.
So is that
back?
Nice?
Yeah, even my wife didn't remember. She started watching wrestling in '99. She didn't know who the New Age Outlaws were. It's the first time she ever saw them.
Oh wow!
I thought Billy Gunn was looking a little weird though. The spaghetti string hair he had going on.
His hair was looking weird, but everything else was.
Oh, he can move. Yeah, he can move just fine for his size and his age.
He's almost 50, dude.
50?
Yeah.
Oh wow.
He's like 47, 48.
Road Dogg's definitely 50 then, isn't he?
Who is?
Road Dogg.
Oh, I think they're around the same age.
Let's see.
Or he might be younger than Billy Gunn.
Well, he has gray hair. Well, I guess he dyes it, yeah.
You paid for a phone call from that guy?
Yeah, I did.
Wow.
It was worth it, though. He was really cool. And I never got my autograph 8x10 that I was promised, but hey, I forgive him.
Man, I'd call up Tylene Buck or something. I wouldn't do that.
Yeah, Billy Gunn's 49 and Road Dogg's 43.
Oh, wow. Big difference.
The fossils. That's more entertaining than anything on the show.
I think they should be tag team champions. Hell, you have The Rock as WWE champion, New Age Outlaws as tag champs, Attitude Era's coming back.
Yeah, yeah, they do New Age Outlaws versus Team Hell No at WrestleMania. I wouldn't mind seeing that.
Yeah, I've heard that from a few fans. They want to see that. Yeah.
There's your WrestleMania match right there.
Eric Bischoff says tag team wrestling is dead, so no tag team wrestling.
What does Bischoff know and horrible-ass TNA? Jesus Christ. I turn on one of their shows and Taz goes, I have a boil on my ass.
Well,
I'm
actually,
like, what am I watching?
TNA's got it's semi-decent tag thing. They got the Robert Roode and Austin Aries. They're pretty much doing the same thing Daniel Bryan and Kane are doing. And then Kazarian and Chris Daniels are good.
Yeah, they're really good. I like them.
Yeah, but other than that, it's not...
Two main eventers and two former world champions in Austin Aries and Robert Roode together. I mean, that's a mistake in my opinion, but...
Yeah, it's weird how much Robert Roode has fallen since, being champion for so long. It was...
What they're doing is they're sucking Hardy off so much because his contract is almost done, or I think they
signed him. Yeah, definitely signed him again.
Oh, fuck. They were sucking... That's why they gave him the world title from what I heard. They're trying to get him to stay, but it worked, obviously.
Yeah. How long did he sign for?
Like 3 years, 2 years.
I was hoping... I know about Brian... Alvarez and Meltzer did a radio interview with Kurt Angle, and he said he's going to wrestle for, I think, 2 more years and then do a retirement tour.
Right, and I remember Angle saying on Twitter he doesn't know how, but he wants JR to call his last match, so, I mean, never say never.
I think he'll come just to stick it to, like, his wife that left him for that motherfucker Jeff Jarrett. Like, watch, I'm going to go back to the biggest show, go to WrestleMania, and, like, you know what I mean? Like, who the hell is Jeff Jarrett? That's what he even said the same thing. He was a little bit drunk, but he told me, he's like, my wife left for him. Like, those are my kids going to his house. Like, who the hell is Jeff Jarrett to do that to me after what I did for him?
Broke 10,000 guitars and never drew a dime.
Okay, Mike Graham, why don't you get your gun and get to work?
Alright, done, because I gotta go.
Are we done?
I guess. All right, well, Miguel, Steve, I hope you guys can follow that, because I'm sure you're...
Follow that!
Yeah, follow that.
Follow that, bitches.
Maybe we'll do this another time. Because,
definitely, I'm down.
Alright, peace out, I'm out.
Alright, see ya.